Saturday people, welcome back to the Highs and Lows. It's episode 5. We have a massive, episode 5. Special guest today, Dylan from FSCR. What's happening, Dill?
What's happening, boys? How are you?
Good. How's everything?
Yeah, going well. Happy to be here. Seen the first few and it's really good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
So what's just tell us a bit about your upbringing and how did it start to now? Like, what have you gone through?
So, yeah, go all the way back. So, not many people know. I was born in Australia, so I'm actually Australian.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Are
I'm
you
an Aussie.
Australian?
Yeah, I'm an Aussie. Believe it or not, not
You're
many
an Aussie.
people
You're
know.
an Aussie.
You see, you give me a little Irish. I thought you was Irish.
Yeah, so that's I probably call myself Irish, but was born in Australia. I was in Australia.
Didn't even know that. How did I not know that?
Yeah, 11 years.
Oh,
11 years. So I was born till 11. And then my family moved back to Ireland. So mum and dad are Irish. Moved back
Okay.
home, and Ireland's home for me.
Yeah.
So grew up in Ireland in the countryside. So I'm a bit of a country boy. Went through all my school, all my education, so college, and then obviously alongside that was playing football. Was, I think by all accounts, a late developer as regards football. I was pretty small at the time. Not very athletic, probably bang average as a player up until maybe 17, 18. Was playing just locally with friends, wasn't a serious player. And then it kind of started to kick off for me. I went to college or university in Ireland, was studying, and then just more from a social point of view, joined or trialed at least for the college team, made the college team, and then from there it kind of just snowballed for me.
Oh yeah. By the way, Dylan owns FSCR gym in Battersea.
Yeah.
So we'll get onto that later.
Yeah.
But top gym.
That's
We'll get
me.
onto that after.
That's
But
me.
carry on.
But yeah, that's, I suppose, FSCR is born out of a lot of, say, my troubles and frustrations as a player.
Okay.
So I was in college playing, went into a bit more formal training, a bit more structure around me, and then kind of from 18 to 21 had a pretty good rise, I'd say. It was playing in the college, captain the college team. The manager of the college team was also.
Where'd you play?
What do you think?
I reckon you.
Yeah, I nearly had it out there, didn't I?
Yeah.
Captain.
When I ask,
Centre
people don't
back.
say like tricky 10 or anything. I don't give that
centre
off.
half.
But yeah, I was a centre back. So college 18, the manager of the college team was the manager of the League of Ireland team, so the National League back home. And he brought me in as kind of a development player. And then quite quickly, I got a break, played, made my debut. And then I think that year I made 30 odd games, if you like. Played throughout my college time, was really, I suppose, what you call a student athlete. I wasn't full-time football, but I was playing.
So was this when you were like
Yeah.
20?
Yeah, so
21.
this is probably from 18 to 21.
Okay.
So 3 years I'd be playing. Just probably the struggles of a lot of footballers. I'd train. League of Ireland, they play Friday night.
Okay.
So I'd train Monday, Wednesday, play Friday, train Sunday. At a part-time job in a clothes shop, JD Sports. I'd work Thursday night, Saturday all day for a little bit of money. And then on Tuesday I used to coach. I used to coach kids as well. So 7 days a week, it was all related to football. The job at JD was solely from money, so I could put petrol in my car and travel to all these
around,
places. So definitely went through it. But then it brought me a lot of joy and a lot of happiness. Like, I had some great memories. The team I was playing with, Waterford, were definitely up and down. So we had some good moments and some not good moments. We had some good players that made moves to England.
Okay.
What
What are the leagues like out there? 'Cause I know they're
Yeah,
different.
I think, showing my age now, it's probably 15 years since I
Okay.
was in it. So
Alright.
it's definitely improved a lot. At the time, I think there was a lot of good up and coming prospects. I think it's similar now. It's probably a
So
league
many
where a lot
players.
of young players play early. Like, you can see boys that are 18 and they've got 50 men's competitive games under their belt. Like, that's extremely rare. So as a young developing player, it's a great platform to play early. I think the league is getting stronger. I think it's probably crying out for a little bit more help in terms of funding, sponsorships, TV media coverage, because I think the talent is there in Irish football. It's just everything that goes with it.
Yeah,
It
I know
needs a
lot
bit of help.
players,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of players
yeah.
at Palace now. Quite a few Irish boys at Newcastle as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Like everywhere. Like, they're all
100%.
coming over. So
I think it
Yeah.
probably has maybe a bad reputation, but once players go over and actually see what it what it is and what it's about.
Yeah.
Like some of the facilities are really good, some of the stadiums are really good, and ultimately there's good players there as well. So I think it's definitely improved over the years.
Yeah. And then after, what was it, 23? What happened there?
So yeah, what did I do? I was at a crossroads. So I always wanted to be a professional footballer, and interview people in my world. That's a lot of what we do. We want to be it.
Yeah.
And when it's not going to materialize, what's the next best thing? So I kind of had a moment through playing in college. I got selected for a Irish representative team, and we traveled for a 3-year period. So we played tournaments in Russia, major tournaments in Russia, and then the second one was in South Korea. So it was at the time, it was the second biggest sporting event behind the Olympics in terms of participation. So it was huge.
Oh, decent. Yeah.
Captained the team. There was opening ceremonies. I was selected as the flag bearer for the country. So like out of all the delegation was picked, and like that tournament, that was when my football career peaked. We were playing against some really good teams. We finished 5th, lost to Italy and lost to France in the 2 separate years. Both of those teams won it.
Yeah.
They had players playing really serious teams in their countries.
So you played for Ireland?
Yeah, so it was an international tournament.
Oh, nice.
And like that was my peak. I couldn't have done any more. I couldn't have played better. We were playing against players that, to give you an idea, had played in the Champions League that year.
No way.
And we stacked up really well as an Irish team against them.
Yeah.
And that was the best I was. And after that, coming back to the League of Ireland and coming back into what was a really tough schedule in terms of full-time education, working in a retail shop, and then training as hard as...
Yeah.
Can you swear?
Yeah.
Training so fucking hard.
Yeah.
It just felt like I'd taken a step back. So whilst I was playing, I was doing all my studying, all my education. So it kind of got to a point where I was like, look, maybe the professional playing career isn't for me.
Yeah.
And I made the choice that if I wasn't going to play, I was going to work professionally. So that's when I kind of finished out that season and then looked into next steps.
And if you've got any advice for kids who are going through that stage and like they're playing for their country sort of thing, what kind of advice would you give to someone like that?
It's a bit counterintuitive because I don't recommend it.
You don't recommend playing for your country?
Oh, playing for my country, yeah. That was the best time of my life. There was a 3-day period where it was apart from my kids being born, it was the best time of my life. The bit I don't recommend is packing it in.
Yeah.
If you like.
So not giving up. You regret giving up, is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say I regret it because where I am now in this room with you boys, I'm really happy with how things have turned out. But there's definitely a void and you definitely miss not playing. It does leave a hole. And without being that guy sitting here going, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. Playing high level and playing well brings such an enjoyment. And you boys will know that when you're in good teams, playing well, training well, you feel fit, you feel strong. It's very hard to replicate that. Because the next period of my life, I came away from training every day, and then it was suddenly more about working or studying every day, and it was very different.
Was this after what, like 25 sort of thing?
So this was, so I finished my first degree 2013. 2014, I made a decision to get as much experience that year as I could. I worked in the States in a performance center in Boston for just under 6 months. That was literally earn your stripes. So I spent all my money. I was sleeping on a couch. The first class would start at 5:30, and this was in Boston in the winter. So it was snowing.
Cold.
So 5:30 was the first class. I'd walk from my house. It would be 45 minutes. So up at 4:30, gone at 4:45, and my day would be from 5:30. And the last class would finish at 9:30, and then I'd get a lift home. And I literally did that 6 days.
5:30 in the morning to 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Damn.
6
days. Well, that's just complete studying.
At the time, I was still with my partner now, so I had a long distance relationship, so I had no interest in girls. I had no money, and I'm not really a drinker, so I had no interest in booze. I had no interest in anything other than going to the other side of the world and learning as much as I could from the people that were there. And the environment was the most amazing environment for me at the time of my life. So I just wanted to be there. Like I would have slept there if they let me.
What were you studying out there?
Yeah, that's
It was a gym. So it was. You guys know what FSCR is, and we'll speak about it. But it was FSCR probably on steroids.
Really?
It was like your typical US high performance facility.
Okay.
Double warehouse. I don't know how many square feet it was, but it was huge. But we'd see, I still feel part of it. Like we'd see anywhere from 300 and 350 players a day.
Damn.
And it was everything from they had the US women's ice hockey team who were amazing. They had baseball players, they had judo athletes,
is that what you're looking
soccer
to?
players.
Is that what you're looking to do with FSCR? You're looking to expand it out in
no, I don't think we'll ever come away from football.
Okay.
I think that's what we are. That's what we know.
Football
but in terms of like the coaching experience and coaching eye and the volume of people, how you lead a group, how you lead multiple groups, like 350 people a day, like that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So for me at that point in my career, learning about, I knew how to train, I knew how to program, I knew how to write a gym program, but being able to write a gym program for hundreds in a system that follows a process that you can give an amazing experience to everyone. That's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah, because there's a lot of online stuff nowadays that can also help you do that.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's it's pretty good.
And even for us, like when we speak to people and advisors or mentors and things like that, like with technology now, on your laptop you can chat GPT a gym program.
Yeah.
So there's no new exercises. There's nothing new. But I mean, with us, I think it's the environment, the people, how you feel,
the culture in there,
all that kind of stuff that goes into it. And like, generally speaking, there's no bad exercises. It's just when to do them, how to do them, why to do them.
Yeah.
So you guys are similar, but you might have completely different schedules, completely different needs. Therefore, the same exercise isn't the right thing for both of you. So it's everything on top of what a laptop can tell you that makes the best of it.
Yeah, and on top of that, how did FSCR start? Where was...
Wait, go back to... So, it's America.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Go back to the... So, America, went there, studied, and then what happened? You come back?
America was 2014. So, first part of 2014, and it's probably worth saying, I did the Christmas period in retail, the back end of 2013. And anyone who's worked in retail knows Christmas is like horrendous. Like it's just crap. So handed in my notice. Handed in my notice. And then a player I played with actually got signed at West Ham. So long story short, I asked him to get me in contact at West Ham, was emailing this person, cold calling them, trying to get in for a work experience, not playing, work experience. And he just wasn't getting back to me. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to quit my job, take it into my own hands. I booked a flight, booked an E&B and came over. West Ham's training ground, I think it's Rush Green or Chadwell Heath. I think it's Rush Green. Anyway, you turn the corner and then there's a big long strip and a security gate and then the building's there. So I'll never forget, I had my backpack on and that's all I had. I didn't have a suitcase, just a backpack. I ran down the road, busted in through security and he's pulled me. He goes, "What are you doing?" Now bear in mind, I'm 21, ginger hair, backpack on my back, not knowing where. I've never been to London before that. And I was like, "Oh, look, sorry, I'm here to meet this man. I'm running late for a meeting. Can you bring me in?" So completely bluffing it. He's brought me in, sat me outside this man. He, after 5 minutes, has turned, like, probably realised I'm a blagger. He's come to pull me back out, and then I see the man. And I was like, "My name's Dylan, I've come over from Ireland. I'm here for work experience. I'm not leaving until you just give me 5 minutes of your time." He was like, "That's insane." He brought me inside, probably did a little interview, and then he said, "Right, come back to me next month. We'll do a month's work experience." And the reason that's so prevalent is,
by the way, that you just went there.
A, to just have a bit of balls and go do it. But B, that was the first time I met Dan as well. So Dan at the time was working in the West Ham Academy.
Oh, no way. Was he?
Yeah, so if you asked him, he probably wouldn't necessarily... We joke about it now. He wouldn't have remembered me at the time. But I remember meeting him, and there's people that I met in that experience that I still have great admiration for. And one of them was Dan. So that was kind of that 2014 year. That was like, that was the year I need to try and make something myself.
Yeah.
Find experiences to help me stand out.
For those who don't know, Dan's the other owner of FSCR. So
Yeah.
Dylan and Dan are the 2 owners. But yeah, carry
So
on.
it was a completely coincidental meeting there. 2014, make something myself, make me stand out in some way. So I had experiences in London, experiences in Boston. I did my master's 2015. So that was in sports performance. So just trying to be well-rounded. That was the year we played in South Korea with the Irish team. That was the peak. And then that was kind of my last crack.
How did you find studying and playing football at the same time? How was?
Yeah, no, it was silly because
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
I found because I did 3 A levels. It's obviously not as much as what you did, but I did 3 A levels last for the 2 years, and football plus loads of trials. So I was missing. I probably missed like the whole year.
Yeah.
Out of them 2 years, I probably missed about a year of school.
It was super difficult because if I speak about my master's degree was 12 months, and then it was 8 months were actually taught in the university. It was 3 days a week, I think. So I had 3 days a week, and I know people won't know Ireland, but I was playing in Waterford, which is the southeast, and I was studying in Limerick, which is probably a 3-hour drive at the time.
Yeah.
So I would be up at the crack of dawn, go study, leave early, go back and train, and then just do that, coupled with the job, coupled with the coaching. So it was the same thing.
So
and I don't say it because
4 hours sleep a night.
Yeah, it's just silly stuff. I don't say it because I was doing any more, any less. It was just that was my reality at the time.
You had a drive and you had something to do it for.
Things like I knew I needed coaching hours. And I knew I needed play. Well, I didn't want to stop playing, so I needed to play. I knew I needed to study, and I knew I needed coaching hours. Okay. So there were just things that I couldn't compromise on. And like I said, I was very settled. I had a good relationship. I wasn't a drinker. Yeah. Like I had nothing really other than doing what I was doing. Yeah. So I didn't need necessarily days off. My days off were right. If I'm not playing, I'm coaching. So that was my day off. If you like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You enjoy coaching. You've got all your,
really.
How's your coaching been?
So did you get the job at West Ham then?
So I went back, spent just under a month at West Ham, and then that was that 2014. And then 2015 it was similar. So in your master's degree, they get you to write a thesis or a dissertation. So for me, I tried to have the same logic to apply to it. So a recent graduate from my program was at QPR. So I reached out to him and said, I've got a dissertation. I'm willing to write it on whatever it is you want me to write it on if I can come and shadow you. And it just so happened that the club had taken on a piece of kit. So it was do you know the 4 sticks we have? Yeah. So back in the day, in my day,
the stats,
the jumps, you know the things you jump on?
Yeah.
QPR had just gotten them for a season and they were on trial. So I basically said, I went over, pitched to him. I'll write whatever you want to know about these things if I can just work here. Yeah. At that time, I was working in Oxford and I was so skint for the interview. I bought my clothes in Primark and had to return them with the tags on the same day after the interview because I'd spent everything. Got the interview.
Was this before you had kids or after?
Yeah, before I had kids.
Before, okay.
So this was like fully immersed, fully in, fully pursuing the job. Okay. So returned the clothes, got the job, and that was a 12-month or season-long internship. I wouldn't even say it was paid. There was a stipend, if you like. There was kind of expenses and stuff. Yeah. So 1 season unpaid, but again immersed, sleeping on a couch, 6 days a week, and then thankfully at the end of it, a position in the academy came up, and then I was kind of away. That was it from there. That was kind of the moment at the end of that chapter in my life that was the first paid job I took.
Yeah, like proper, but yeah. That's where you met Lumley, innit?
That's where I met Lummers, man. My boy Lummers. Look at him now, Premier League.
I know, man. Didn't you see that the other day?
Man. So
Sick.
Good.
Unbelievable.
So good. But it just shows, like, I think Joe's a great story, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, like, the time people put into things, the time commitment for Joe. Like, what is it? That must be 10 years ago now. Yeah. He's just made his debut in the Premier League.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So good.
So, I mean, he was at QPR for 10 years, wasn't he? 16, he didn't get a scholar at Spurs. Yeah. Went QPR, he was there for 10 years. Yeah, that's mad. And now he's. Did I tell you about Joe?
No.
Southampton goalie made his.
Oh,
debut.
is your
Yeah, like family friend.
family
close
friend?
Family friend.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And but obviously
Yeah.
Dill knows him well.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh.
it was at
Well, he only
QPR.
just made his prem.
Prem
Prem
debut.
debut.
Where's he been playing?
30s at Southampton. Last season he was at Middlesbrough.
Oh,
He's
so he's
playing
just been like
championship. He's been
championship.
championship like for like the last
He's at Reading,
10 years.
QPR.
Reading,
Oh, damn.
QPR, and then he
Yeah.
made his Prem debut last week or the week before for Southampton.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
it's pretty good, isn't it?
yeah, sick.
Good
Man.
keeper, but better character.
Oh, he's a
Better off
crease,
the pitch
man.
than he's
I
on
mean,
the
if
pitch.
he's anything like this guy, then
I learned it all from him.
That's
him
why
and
they're
my
friends.
brother. Yeah.
oh well. So what you finished?
Yeah, so then when I moved to England, when I moved to QPR, it was all in. That was my professional working phase, if you like.
Okay.
Mm.
And then I suppose whizzed through QPR. QPR was great for me. I interned for a year. Then I had an academy role for a year, and that was 9s to 16s.
Mm.
So all the youngins.
Physio.
Sports science, S&C, yeah.
Science, yeah.
In the academy, you kind of do all the
Yeah.
physical
Yeah,
stuff. It's all
of it,
pulled
innit?
in.
Yeah.
Did that for a year, and then job came available back up the first team, and then moves back up, and I was there up until kind of 18 months ago. So that
Mm.
was the best part of 10 years
Yeah.
Alright.
at the club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
just
ages,
under.
wasn't
Mm.
But
Yeah.
you were
Just
there
under.
for 18 months.
No, he
Or
was
you-
there.
No, I left about 18
Oh,
months
you-
ago.
I was there for like
Only
10
18
years.
months ago.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
And then
So what
now-
happened? So FSCR. So how did it come out?
FSCR.
Did you always have this little thought in your head that you was going to do something like that, or?
I don't think I could take credit for the thought. It was
Mm.
definitely Dan's
Mm.
brainchild, if you like.
Yeah.
Obviously, you mentioned is the founder of it.
Mm.
It was definitely his brainchild, but I suppose where we connected was in my journey. There was pains and struggles and problems that I faced
Yeah.
that we wanted to build a
Solve.
company that solved those problems.
Mm.
We wanted to be a place that if I was 17, 18, that I'd want to go. If I
Mm.
was 24, 25, I'd want to go. If I was 12 or 13, I'd want to go.
Mm.
And I think when it was discussed early on, me being in Ireland, having my struggles, and he's an Australian, so him being Australia, different ends of the world, but the
Mm.
same problem
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the same love of sport. And that's probably what connected us at the start. He had a very similar journey.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it was kind of that just bonded us from the start.
Mm.
It started, see, he was at QPR, I was at QPR, so it started over coffee.
Yeah.
And then slowly but surely the conversations just got a bit more traction, if you like.
Mm.
The idea developed, and then it kind of was, right, let's give it a go.
Mm.
And it kind of went from there. Like we started, I suppose, doing some stuff online.
Mm.
Yeah.
It actually started we rented some space in the gym in Haggerston,
Mm.
in a little CrossFit studio,
Yeah.
Okay.
and we did a promo video.
Yeah.
Promo video to release some stuff for online and
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
make
yeah.
a go of it like that. And then suddenly people start reaching out, oh, you're doing some online stuff, can I get
Mm.
involved?
Yeah.
And like when I'm saying online, it was like ones and twos, like it wasn't loads, but it was something.
Yeah.
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 It's a
And
start.
then like the concept started to develop, if you like.
Yeah.
So then quite quickly, I think we realized that online is really difficult. Like online for maybe our skill set for where we were
Yeah.
at the time wasn't necessarily doing us justice. Like
Yeah.
it's handing someone a piece of paper, if you like, and saying do that. Like that's not what we were about at that time.
Mm.
Yeah.
We wanted to be in front of people, we wanted to coach people, we wanted to, like I said, have all those small little things that
Yeah.
make something go from good to great. That's what we were good
Mm.
at. So
Mm.
in that gym in Haggerston, met with the owner,
Yeah.
rented some space around
Okay.
disused hours,
Mm.
and then kind of just went from there. Like we had 2 and 3 people,
Yeah.
5 and 6, and then suddenly in the hours we were there, we outgrew the place. Like we were,
And that at that time you were known as like the football sort of gym
yeah,
guys.
yeah, 100%. That was the
Yeah.
kind of space we wanted to be in. Like we outgrew it. We had, rowdy's not the right word, like boisterous
Mm.
footballers in the gym,
Yeah,
and we ended up
yeah.
taking over.
Yeah.
And the owner was
yeah.
like, "Look, this is great, but like, you guys are gonna have to go elsewhere."
Yeah.
We owe a lot to that person because he gave us a chance, and
Mm,
even
yeah.
after that conversation, we just stripped it back
Mm.
because we knew we had to keep going. And that phase of the business, if you like, was definitely the start.
Mm.
But that was just like, right, figure it out.
Mm.
Okay.
What does a
And
footballer
when
look
was
like?
this?
This
Mm.
would have been 2017.
2017.
2017. So I've been doing it.
So how long's
7 years.
FSCR been around for now?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
I think it was August 2017 that it started in some way, shape, or form.
And what does FSCR stand for? Or
FSCR.
Football strength conditioning rehabilitation.
Yeah.
I was just checking. I was just
So
checking.
all things for players, everything they need. That's kind of, I suppose, the premise. We want to be that one-stop shop for players. So football, strength and conditioning, and rehabilitation. So it doesn't matter what you're looking for. You want to be that one-stop shop.
What are the highs and lows that of running a gym or building it from bottom to top? What's the issues you faced? So I know there's a lot. There's a lot.
How long you got?
Give us a few, like, when it comes to finding the places.
Yeah, it was
the main question.
It was super hard. Like there's been so many things along the way, and I think the thing for me, like looking back now, they probably don't seem significant, but at the time they just felt like our world. And I look back now and think I know how to solve that problem. Yeah. But that's only come from the experiences we've had and the people we've met and getting through it. Yeah. So at the start, it was like we had pennies. Like, how do we find an online platform to do online training? Like, that seems silly, but at the time, that was a big problem for us. How do we solve that? And then it was like, when we knew it wasn't that, like, how do we find a gym in London that we can rent space? Or when he's kicking us out, he's like, what are we going to do now? Because if he kicks us out, does this thing die? Probably one of the biggest ones was, how do we open a gym in the middle of London? Like, how do we do that? What does that look like?
You've got a really good space, like
usually
now in Battersea.
And that's like, obviously we've kind of popped up there in the last 3 years, if you like, but that honestly came after about 5 years. So like, we had countless ideas and avenues and like some of the dumb shit we thought we were going to be geniuses at doing. So we used to train at Mabley Green a lot.
Oh yeah, Mabley,
So we used to train at Mabley Green a lot. Same like every player hopping the fence, getting in on the pitch, trying to be the first to get the big goal, and then do your sessions there. So at one point we were talking to the council wanting to build a gym alongside the clubhouse. We thought at one time we could use steel containers and then just build with that, and that's it. It's just ridiculous thinking about it now.
Did you do that in the end? Or no?
I'd say we investigate it. So there's a place called Container City.
During winter, that's sort of
crazy.
Or even the summer.
Super, you know one extreme and the other.
Hot tub.
Went to a place called Container City. I can't even think it's in East London somewhere. And suddenly thought we'd solved the idea. Went to the owner, met the owner, and he just laughed us out of the room.
Really?
And he was right. He was right. Because the money, the cost, the actual construction, if you like, was crazy for what we were wanting to do. We're just two trainers, like,
just true.
You know what I mean? We're just figuring
ambitious,
out.
wanting to get it done, innit?
We then at Mabley, just by the flyover. So you know when you go up the road, there's a flyover. We thought maybe we pitch it there. That was ridiculous. Can't do that. Like, without going into it, there's probably been 7 iterations to get to where we landed, and COVID. Kind of COVID fit in the middle of it. Like, we were like a piece of ink, a dash of ink away from sealing a deal on a space not far from here in North London that we were going to sign off on. And to be fair to Dan, it was probably something Dan's got that stopped him from writing his signature. And then it was weeks later, COVID hit. And if we had signed that, like, we were done. Like, that would have finished us. So it was such a blessing in disguise. Because one, it was probably the deal wasn't right for us. But we were just so desperate to make it work. We were like, can't pass up on this. And in hindsight, it would have been terrible. And then 2, obviously,
I think that's
COVID.
That's what drives a lot of like entrepreneurs nowadays, is they've got the hunger. Like, you had, from what you've been saying, you had nothing really. Like, you built up this good reputation, all this stuff, but at the end of the day, you had to do something. You couldn't just sit back and let things slide. But
it's true.
Because like at the start, so I mentioned like we did online, then rented some gym space. Like, in all those summers, we obviously did off-season camps.
Yeah.
So like that was kind of a gateway in, if you like, to start. And we did our first one in Hackney Marshes.
Okay.
And like Hackney Marshes is amazing.
Yeah.
But like the pitch that year, it wasn't like a football
Hackney
pitch.
Marshes.
It was
Everyone knows
bobbly.
Everyone knows how bad that
Do you
pitch
know,
is.
like, I don't need to talk about it, but I think we had 10 or 12 boys. And it was just amazing for us. Like we had players that are playing at a very high level right now, like some Premier League players and then some grassroots players. And like when we talk about players on our journey, and me and Dan share the same belief, like the players that were with us at the start, that gave us a chance when we had nothing, like we literally had nothing, like they're the ones that we really owe a lot to, because they kind of trusted in us. They probably trusted in us as people, but then hopefully the brand left a bit of an imprint on them. Like we pulled up to Hackney Marshes with a bag of balls and a speaker and tried to run an off-season camp and charge a few quid for it.
That's where you start though.
And that's where it was. You know, that's where it was. And like off-season camps, we've gone Hackney Marshes. We were up in the Hive for a couple of years. We've done some camps abroad. This summer coming, we're looking at camps in Dubai. We're looking at camps in Orlando. So like, it's just every year it's kind of
pretty good.
It's gone up another level.
Well, business is it's a sticky thing. It's doesn't come overnight.
No, you know, that's so true. And like, I know we were speaking off air about like what advice would you have for people. And I think like, I suppose trying to be a player myself first and then business, there's like so many similarities. I think we can really relate to you guys as players and all the players out there, but like the advice I always have is the understanding of time. Like if you'd asked me at the start, I thought I'd be a millionaire by now, and like I'm as poor as I've ever been, but I'm more motivated than ever to do what we're trying to do. So we're 7 years in and we're still trying to figure out the details of what we're doing and how we're going to do it. Because if you speak to us, like our ambition is to have FSCR gyms around the world. That was our ambition year one, and it's our ambition now. But how we're doing it has definitely changed along the way, and we're definitely wiser.
The goals are the same, but the journey is different.
So different.
You hear that a lot.
And if you maybe told us both in year one that we'd still be thinking about it, or still figuring out after 7 years,
what do you think?
you'd maybe ask yourself questions.
Give it your ego, you'd be like, no chance.
I think that's what I mean when we speak about Joe. Like, if you tell someone you have to wait, so I don't know how old Joe was. He must be near 30, is he?
Yeah, he's 30 now.
Like, if you told someone you won't play in the Premier League till you're 30, like, it's a long time. It's a big commitment,
mate.
And the other side of it, like, Joe's reached the height. Like, Joe's achieved the goal. We're still at the start of our journey. There's no guarantee we're going to get to where we want to get to. Joe might never have played, but it's the acceptance of time, of how long you're willing to give something. And even if you don't reach it, knowing that you've given it a go and done what you needed to do in the pursuit of it.
That's another thing. You just got to, I hear it a lot and I say it a lot as well on my social media. You just got to enjoy working, enjoy putting in the work, the hours and the late nights.
100%.
Because that, at the end of the day, you look back, you probably look back now and you think, look how far I've come. You know what I mean? And you obviously you want to be further now, but you're happy. Like I don't know. There's obviously you've had mistakes in the past, but you're happy, you're content in a way.
100%.
Like you know you've put in enough work.
100%. There's a good book. I think Ryan Holiday. I think it's called The Obstacle Is the Way, but it's the same thing. Like, and it talks about, like, I sit here and smile talking to you guys. It's not till you talk to someone you realize maybe what you've done. Like when it's me and Dan and we're just chewing the fat, we're probably not patting each other on the back. We're not saying how well we've done to get here. It's like, we need to get here, keep going.
Because when like if George and I were talking about it, we're like we're listening to your journey now. I'm thinking like, wow, like you've come a long way. But then for you two, you're like,
you probably look at it and think, still want to get, still got this goal to get to.
So that's the best way to correct mindset to have.
100%. So like it's I sit here and smile and think like the amount of people we've met, the experience we've had with each other, the journey. It's been really enjoyable. And it's been a big thing. Like, you know, he's the same. So Dan stepped away from professional football as well 2.5 years ago.
Oh yeah, Dan's got a bit about him, isn't he?
Yeah, I remember he was techie. Beat him
Yeah.
at 2-touch.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he's
Once.
maybe the second best in there. But again, he stepped away from a job. Like, for us, you work your whole life to get into professional football, and then we've both made the decision to walk away from it to pursue what we're doing, which is outside of professional football technically.
Okay.
So it's a huge decision, but one that neither of us would have made without absolute confidence in what we're doing and how we're trying to do it. And it's taking that risk. Yeah, it's backing yourself.
Yeah.
Like, we've sat in a room and go, if we can't figure this out, then we don't deserve to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like,
Well, it's
winning's changed for us.
Yeah. Well, it's
Winning's
like
different.
what's his name? Oh my god, I forgot his name. Upstairs does all the football sessions. Steph. Oh my god, yeah, Steph. He's gonna hate me for that.
Clip that.
I forgot his name. Yeah, Steph. Well, it's like Steph. His journey.
100%.
His journey was at Arsenal,
100%.
Newcastle, and then injuries and.
Yeah, and like I think Steph embodies. So for anyone listening, Stephen O'Connor embodies a lot about the type of people we want to be with, around, and support. So, like, Steph's career was unreal. Like, at one point he was playing UEFA 19s Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
I think he told me he missed a penalty the other day, so just to put that in there. But he was like at the pinnacle, like really hot prospect. And then, you know yourselves, without getting into it, like, things just don't work out any which way. Moved to Newcastle, things didn't work out for one reason or other, and then suddenly really bad injury, and then his career just doesn't go the way it should. And now we're extremely fortunate to be in a position where Steph's focusing on his coaching. He comes in, he runs all of our football sessions, so he'll coach all of our pros down to our academy sessions. And like, what better person to be able to provide support to these kids? Like, my career pales in comparison to his, but he's actually lived that journey. So we speak to our boys a lot. Like, there's one thing having coaching experience and coaching IQ, but he's got that life experience, that life IQ of, he knows what he's asking you boys to do. He's done it. So he's like perfect for what we're trying to do now, and that's a big part of it. Like, we spoke a little bit about finding the right building or facility, and then find the right people. It's probably been
because I know like Miles and everyone's lovely in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We go there, kick some ball.
That's class in there.
I love it. I just know I kick a bit of ball and hit gym.
The most annoying thing for me is it takes me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get there. But it's like, obviously when I was at Connecticut, it was easier because I was just coming straight from like
South.
Yeah, straight from
School,
South into there. But nah, it's just like, it's a mission for me, but obviously I still try to get down there because I love it in there, man. It's just class.
It's like, it's basically that's I was on your website. It's like you're recreating like an academy sort of environment.
100%.
And it's good. It's
100%.
good.
Yeah, it is. It's like an academy environment. It's literally like, you go in there, all the boys, everyone knows each other, the banter. You got the little PlayStation in there. You got like, it's a laugh, man. Everyone's playing 2-touch, but and then you get back to your gym sesh, like it's good.
I think that's a big thing. Like, we've obviously done this for so long now, and like, one of the questions we constantly get asked, and I think you asked, I don't know if it was on camera or off camera, is would we do other sports? And the answer from day one up until now has always been no. Just because for a multitude of reasons. But one is, if you dropped a rugby player or cricketer or any other athlete into that gym, it would change the feel, the culture, the environment, everything. And there's something really unique about being able to walk into a facility and it's just footballers. And that doesn't matter if we got little George who's 12, he's coming back from ACL, or if you're one of our semi-pros or one of our pros, JD, out of contract, looking for a club. Everyone in between those two boys are all footballers.
And the thing is as well, what I was saying last week to Serene, it was the best thing about it, I think, as well for me. I used to go into the gym up in my area, just a normal gym, and I'd do like these sports exercises and stuff, like I'll just start doing like
squats.
Squats and that, and like, you get people looking at you a bit funny. They think, what's it like? I'm doing all the exercises the birds are doing, right? And then, but obviously, come in FSCR, and it's like, you go in, you don't feel like anyone's like watching you or looking at you, thinking, what's he doing, or like, because everyone's doing the same thing, and then you lot are walking around helping you to do it the best way. And then even to the little things when I do like uppers with you lot, and to the little things are like going down slowly and coming up quick, and then you go in the gym and you watch people and they're trying to just smash them out, and you think you're not, you know what I mean?
I think the thing in our place is like again, if I come back to the place we're trying to set it up so that is as good as it can possibly be in terms of the equipment and everything goes with it. The people in there at the minute have all worked at or played at like an extremely high level. And then we want to make the experience for you guys as players as good as possible. So not everyone gets into an academy. Not everyone knows what it's like being in a professional academy or a professional first team. We want FSCR to be that place that you don't have to play at a certain level to experience a certain level of support. And that comes back to coaching, the interactions, the culture, like the team aspect of it.
What would you say? What would you say the values behind FSCR are? Like the main values?
When we first did it, we came up with 5. The one, it's from the first day we did it. Our slogan, our catchphrase, if you like, our slogan, should I say, has been for the player. So everything we're doing is
Not
centered around that decision. So like the space, the programming, the culture, the environment, even like all the sacrifices we've made behind the scenes that people don't know of, it's always been to try and maximize what we're giving the player. Obviously it is a business, but it's not something that like we're getting rich off of. We're trying to put everything we have into making the experience as good as possible for the boys and girls that come here. So that is the primary one.
And it's not overpriced. You don't smash prices out, and you ain't doing it for that.
No,
you're doing it to get.
I think it's a fact from what I see anyway. Is you're passionate about it. You and Dan are very, like, you care a lot about what you do and how.
You've got quotes on the walls. It's quality,
100%.
Which helps and doesn't make it feel. It doesn't feel like a business. You know, it doesn't feel like you're walking in and getting sold to. Because cause that's when simple as that. That's when you lose customers. I think.
So true. That's the best. I think that's one of the best things. What you just said there. What you lot have done. You've made it so even though it's your business, it's not. People don't walk in there and think, these lot are just trying to nick my money. You know what I mean? You lot have absolutely smashed it. Like 100%. It's like family in there. Everyone, boys will come in that no one knows, and within 20 minutes, everyone will be having a laugh and banter, 2-touch. You know what I mean?
100%. And that's a big part of it. Like I think that's, again, not to speak about a business, but that's what people will pay for. People won't pay for just the gym program. Like I said, you can get that. We think our program is better, but you can get a gym program off the internet. You can type into Chat GPT and get something. We think ours is still better, but it's that feeling when you walk through that door of you know what you're going to get, and it's everything outside of the program that we speak about. Like that's why you travel an hour and a bit to get there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's why you put your hand in your pocket and you pay whatever you pay to do it.
100%.
Because even like you can take the program, rip the program, and then just do it wherever you want to do it. But that's not the point.
It's not.
And I think probably, you know, not to speak about yourself, but like to be able to come into a place, because we speak about it all the time. Like there's lots of good S&C coaches out there. There's lots of good physios. There's lots of good football coaches. I don't know of anywhere that does all 3 of those things under one roof. So on any one day, like you've both done it, you come in, you see the physio. If you've got an issue, they can take care of you. You go upstairs, you do your football session, you train, and then you come back down, you do your S&C work.
Pretty much like a professional
club. Like outside of a club, there's not many places that do that. You can go to these pop-up sessions and then tell yourself you're going to go to the gym after, and it doesn't happen. You can go to these sessions, need a bit of physio work because you're tight or stiff or sore. Not there.
Get it done.
Like it's just having all those 3 things under the one roof.
You can't get that anywhere. There's nowhere I know that does that where you can go there. Exactly. Say you feel a little knock on the hamstring
100%.
and it's tight, and you go to physio, you're in there for 15. You go upstairs, you train for an hour, with good players.
100%.
Come downstairs, proper gym sesh.
And that goes back to the value. It's for the player. Like we see it. Like we've obviously got our our members,
Mm.
and like take you boys. You boys are both fit in theory, but it's not me looking after you fit players. It's all of our team looking after you fit players. It's all of our team looking after the injured players. So like every player gets every staff member anytime they need them. So like without going into your issues, like just get you in with the physio. Go in and see it. Physio, right, we need to change your program because of these reasons. Okay, that feeds back to me. We change your program and you're away.
Yeah, it's good.
That's
I mean,
hard
it's
to do.
literally like a professional club academy sort of thing.
That's the idea.
It's
That's the idea.
yeah. Well, you say there was five core values. So it was for the player.
Oh, you're getting me to reel them off now. For the players, our central one.
I've searched these up, so
you can probably recall them. We speak about being blind.
Okay.
So being blind in respect to age, gender, playing level, all those kind of things, all those like factors that can give people different kind of status in different spheres. Doesn't matter when you walk through the doors.
Yeah, egos.
So egos, leave them at the door. That the connecting factor is football. Doesn't matter where you play, if it's grassroots or if it's Premier League. We treat everyone the same. And again, it's having that commonality of just footballers. So that's a big one for us.
I've got a massive question for you. What's the end goal of FSCR? Like, where you be like, you can sit down and be like,
I've done it. Yeah.
This is what I imagined FSCR would be
When we had
I first started.
first conversation, me and Dan, when we was talking about this is it, I've done it. Like where is
do you
that?
see that? Because I know it's got a lot of potential and it could be massive.
Yeah, that's a tricky
but
one.
where do you see it?
I feel like there's no limit on it, like where you're gonna go.
Yeah, I don't
like
think it's
just go.
I don't think it's ever something that either of us have got on paper. It's not a destination. It's not a fixed point. I'll come back to your question, but like one of the shifts in mindset we had a couple of years ago is when we first started this, we thought we're going to open gyms all around the world. And we probably put too much emphasis on gyms. Where the mindset change just subtly was we needed to be better before we were bigger. And the last few years, it's just been focusing on trying to be better at everything that goes into our service delivery, our customer experience. So it's everything from how people find us, the feeling of finding us to actually getting in the door, making that really cool. When they come in the door, how they feel, and then when they leave, what do they feel? So like focusing on that, by focusing on those components that go into it, that leads to the second gym. So now our goal is to make Battersea amazing, but then at some point open a second gym. So
please do my ways.
We've looked at up here. Don't worry.
Whereabouts? Just out of interest.
We've looked at a few different. There's a few different options on the table.
Go on, say Essex.
Possibly Essex. Possibly Essex. You learn a few lessons. Like scaling is hard. Scaling is really hard. Like just some thoughts in our head, like going from 0 to 1 is hard. Like that's extremely hard because you're opening a gym. You've never done it before. Going from 1 to 2 is probably even harder. Because the demands on that. So our second site, potentially in London. We've looked up Manchester way. We've had some options in different countries abroad.
Manchester's quite big.
You got players up north as well.
So like there's a bit of a network around.
There's another place, is it in Dubai? They do something similar to FSCR.
We were in Dubai at the start of the year, so that's an interesting one. The thing with Dubai and like these places, they're so far away. So like logistically trying to pick up the blueprint and drop it in, it's hard. It's hard. It is potentially though, but it's also, I think, really critical that we make the right decision and the right step for this one. I think things like Dubai or wherever these are, if it's there for us now, it'll be there for us in 5 years. So I just think it's important that we don't get blinded by the lights and make a rash decision, overstretch, and then like
run before you can walk.
That's another thing like that I think is a business owner is some of the advice we give. Like when you do your modeling and your projections and all this kind of stuff, you're like, oh my God, we're going to make this much money. And like, we've never thought that. We've always thought like, just survive, like just earn enough money to keep the lights on for long enough. And then once you establish the service in your business, then it will come. And like, again, it comes back to that's time. Like if you can sacrifice that time, then we'll win at some point.
Time is one thing you can't get back.
Can't get back.
Trust the timing.
Trust the
Trust
timing.
the time, man. I like it. So like,
Goes with anything, business.
To come back to your question, like what's the end goal? Probably a few years ago, it would have been like to have multiple gyms all around the world. I've spoken on another platform saying like, I just think it'd be amazing to say that we've impacted 1 million footballers, whether that's online, in person, whatever.
Yeah. You've had some big players on your program.
Yeah.
There's been
worked with a lot of big
there's
players.
been some cool ones. There's been some cool ones. Ebbs is obviously the standout name. Like,
and obviously, I think it's class that obviously for those that have never been FSCR, in there you got like on the wall shirts of all pro players that have like been FSCR and like made it, and then obviously all of us lot in there working. It's like we want to get our shirt on there. That's the thing.
100%.
That's like our little.
Like Ebbs' story is amazing for those that have met him. Like, whatever about the story, him as a person, he's the most amazing guy ever.
Well, Eze.
Yeah. It's like it couldn't happen to a better one, and everything he's gone through, it just makes it all sweeter. And we're so proud of him. But there's players in there as well that people respectfully probably don't know about, that their story is as impressive. Like, I've just got such a deep connection to a player called Marvin Armstrong. So Marvin's up at York. Don't know whether you know Marvin.
I know Marvin. Yeah.
Amazing guy.
I was when I went Barnet, he was there. Oh, I love him.
Amazing guy.
He was at Kinetic, wasn't he?
So Marvin, ex-Kinetic, I speak of Marvin any chance I get, purely because Marvin was one of the first players when we were in Haggerston to come and work with us. And Marvin won't mind me saying, he was playing like step fucking 15.
At what age?
18, 19, I'm guessing now. I'm guessing. Time gets
15.
away from me.
Mate,
Step 15 might be a bit of a stretch. Marv's my guy, so I can say that. But he was playing nowhere. And like, Marv's, and it's not because of us, but he's trained with us every year. And every year, the goal has always been, I want to be a professional footballer. Yeah. And every year he went up the pyramid. And then, again, time's getting away from me. I think it was 2 years ago, he signed his professional contract for Barnet.
Okay.
And then that season, there was a transfer fee from York to Barnet. And we just had a moment where we thought, oh my God, when you started, did you ever think someone would pay money for you? And it's people like Marv that we're as proud of as Eberechi, because they've had it so hard.
Football is hard.
He owns Grafter as well, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he owns Grafter, you know, the clothing. Grafter.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
He speaks for himself. He's a grafter, you know what I mean?
Proper good guy.
He's top. Honestly, he helped me out bears at Barnet.
Days up in Scotland. There's loads of little stories. And they're super cool. And obviously the Eberechi one is super cool. And like, you boys probably know, we won't say it, but there's like men and women that we support that we don't necessarily talk about online just because of where they're playing. We try and keep that professional. And their cases, or their players, if you like, not cases, that we're super proud to speak about privately, that we don't talk about publicly. But there's also like young boys and girls in there that like are really new on their journey, and they just make their next team, or they make their school team, or they, and that's a big part of it as well.
So that's where you start.
Right.
School football.
The milestones.
When the boys and girls come in, they go, oh my God, I got signed for a new club, or we have a female player with us at the minute. She's been training with us for probably the best part of 9 months, football and gym.
Okay.
And was playing like grassroots. Like, she's just signed for Wimbledon. And like, for her, like, that's such an amazing come up from where she was. And that's a journey that we've been a part of. And that's what it's about for us. It's all those little journeys and stories that if you can just
helping
support them, right?
Yeah, because I find that I'm doing a bit of coaching as well, like just online sort of stuff. And I think it's more like the fact people come back to you and like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. That's worth more than like any price. 100%. You know what I mean? Like, it's priceless. Yeah.
And even like we spoke about it, and shout out to you guys, like for us to see those videos from last week or 2 weeks ago when you had Serene here, like impact for us is what people say about us when we're not there, or you're not in our building or in our gym. And by all accounts, it was just you three guys kicking it here, and our brand came up, and whether the cameras are rolling, it was all positive what was said. And that's what we want. Like it's not 100 gyms, it's not a million players. It's when people talk, they go, you know, those guys are cool guys. They tried to do the right thing. They gave us a good time, good experience.
Well, you have done that every single. Well, even when I was obviously back to Marvin. Obviously, when I went to Barnet and I was training with the first team, I was speaking to him and he was like, "Oh, what'd you do?" Because obviously he knew I was at Kinetic. And he was like, "Do you do any extra gym work?" And that I was like, "I go FSCR." And he was like, "You're in the right place." And then the same with Lummers, when obviously Lummers recommended me 100%. To you lot, and like everyone says the same thing, 100%. And you lot have definitely done that, I think.
And like that's really powerful. Like that's brand in our eyes.
Branding's very powerful.
That's what we want it to be.
Brand.
That's what we want it to be. And it takes time, because what we're trying to be is authentic. We're trying to be ourselves. Like that's not something quick. You can't just hand that out. Like we've known you guys now for probably a year. Is it?
No, 2 years.
Is it 2 years?
Wait, when did we start? No, October. I think it was last year October we started.
Was it?
I'm sure.
No, because we didn't get
was
the
it before
FSCR Connect.
Was it before the second year youth cup?
Is that when you think the penalty?
Yeah, when he think the penalty, so he knows about it. So yeah, it was longer than a year.
It might be 2
about a year and a half. I think a year and a half.
Right. But either way, you can't fake this kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? You can't fake how we are.
It's gone quick, you know.
So that's where it just takes time.
Damn. Yeah. That's I still remember like the day joining.
Well, I thought you could say that, Mr. Penn.
Nah.
Can't let him forget that one, can we?
Always bring it up. I was out the other day actually, and I was with like Rossi and all that.
Oh yeah.
They kept bringing it up.
Oh yeah, I bet
they were grilling me. It's quite funny though.
Can't forget it.
Can't forget it. But it's one of them. Live and learn. You know what I mean?
100%.
And what advice would you give to anyone who wants to start up their own gym? As in like gym, football gym,
or anything,
normal
business,
gym, business.
Football, Hopefully not football gym, but
yeah, like a normal gym.
What advice? I think there's so many factors that go into it. Like there's not one. You could reel off a few things. Like it's a bit of a cheesy one, but like mine and Dan personal lives in very different ways are set up to allow us to do what we do. So without going into it, both of our personal lives have a network and a support system around us that allow us to put 60-70 hours a week into work. That's really hard to get and to find and to accept. So that's kind of the starting position.
Sacrifices.
That then the actual cost of putting 60-70 hours into something. It's physically quite tough. It's mentally quite tough, and it's probably a challenge because we were having to learn things that were new to us. Like we're obviously trained in like sports performance, sports science, S&C. Like there are things we know. We don't know, or we didn't know, marketing, finance, accounting, legal, branding, like all that kind of stuff. So having to learn that on the go and trying to make good decisions around setting up a business about those things. I'm probably harping on about it, but just the acceptance of time. Like if you think something's going to take you a year, it's probably going to take you 3 years. It just takes so much longer than you think.
It's just staying consistent.
Well, obviously 100%. Jack's brand, trust the timing. That's the main message on it.
100%.
Timing is key.
And it's not for everyone. Like we've had some amazing people be on our journey with us. Like we wouldn't be where we are without different people that have left their footprints in our business along the way, and that's business mentors. We've had some amazing physios and S&C coaches and everything and anything in between.
Have you invested in any mentors before? Or
we've had a lot. Like definitely early on. When we began to formulate the business, we had a business mentor, and she was pivotal in setting those probably baseline structures in place, and then we just filled in the gaps along the way.
Yeah.
So she was really good. Like, she didn't tell us what her business was. That's what we know, but she told us certain things about how to actually, instead of just training people, how to make it a business.
Yeah.
And that was invaluable at the start. I think for us, we've tried to always play the long game. That's another value we speak about. So like every decision we make, it's not a decision we make for next week or next month. It's for next year. It's for 10 years time.
Yeah.
So trying to set things up for the long term, because we know we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
This is what we're going to do. This is where our lives are going. So set up with good solid foundations, and then let everything grow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Should we do a few little quiz questions before we end?
Yeah, go on, a quick
Just,
little,
just to finish it off.
This
These
is a-
ones are a bit different though.
This is
What,
a
you got a
curveball.
quick, what, me v Dylan, yeah?
This is a
Yeah,
curveball.
go on. I'll run out real quick.
Come on then, quick
Am I
one.
being set up here?
No, my phone's
No,
off.
no. He doesn't
I
know
don't
these.
know nothing.
These are celebration ones, right? So I'll do
Oh,
the
football celebration, yeah.
I'll do the celebration. If you know it,
Yeah.
clap.
Alright, tell him.
Yeah.
First one to clap, yeah.
Alright, cool.
But then
ready,
you can't
yeah?
clap
Gotta
and
get
then
done.
shout. Like I need to decide who
Yeah,
clapped
yeah,
first.
yeah, sweet.
Ron's gonna help me as well. Yeah. All right, you ready? You ready? So for the first celebration.
Are you going to stand up and do it?
Yeah,
You're
what
going to
you
do it
doing?
properly,
Yeah,
no?
wait. Let me have a quick look.
Because if you're knee sliding, what you doing, on the table or what?
You got to give it a go now. Should we just let him keep doing it?
Let me
Just do
Oh,
like...
this is embarrassing
just
for
do a
me
best,
doing
do a
that.
best of
No,
three,
you
so
can't.
obviously,
You
oi.
can't
Alright,
back
you
out
ready?
now.
Jack, do a best of three. Just the best of three. So obviously
Best
you
of
can't.
3. All right, you ready? First one.
Georgie, just let him do it. Just let him do it, Georgie. George, let him do it. Just let him do it.
Just... What are you doing? Is it... Have you got to be stood up? Have you got to stand up? Yeah, he's got you, he's got you.
Okay.
2009, I was 4. What was I watching? Wait, do it again?
All right, I'll take it. I'll take
Go on,
it.
take it,
I'll
take
take
it.
it.
No, we just wanted you to keep dancing.
I enjoyed watching that. Peter Crouch. Peter Crouch.
Yeah, cool.
You know.
That's
I'm not
quality,
even-
that's quality.
All right. This one you gotta get. Sue.
Ronaldo.
All right, cool.
Decider, yeah.
Next one. 3, 2, 1.
Who was that then?
I think that was George.
I think that was me, wasn't it?
Are you ready? Who is it?
Madison.
Matters, yeah.
What's the scores?
2-1.
2-1.
Or could have been Neil Mope, depending on.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you copy that?
Yeah, but Madison was first.
I
wasn't
put
he?
Madison on
Georgie.
it. Are you ready?
That was quick. Yeah.
Is that you or me?
No, I didn't
Oh.
even go.
Oh, Rashford. Right, this one, if Dylan gets this, it's 3-3. If I get this, I win. So if you get this, 3-3,
Playoff.
playoff.
All right, cool.
If I get this, I'll just win.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I know it. It's out of 2 players.
I was gonna go Ronaldo, but I think my years are wrong.
Yeah,
you going
your years
for-
are off. Your
you going
years
for
are off. He
Ronaldo?
was at Real Madrid then. I know it. It's out of 2 players.
Which
You
two?
just say one.
Which two?
No.
I'm not telling
wait.
you.
Who are we going for then?
Think that ain't that long ago. That's
2016. That's
yeah,
a long time
8
ago,
years.
mate. 8 years ago.
You started 7 years ago. FSCR, I think. Who was playing then?
That's all right. You hear this guy?
Oh no, I'm gone.
He's
I'm gonna
still up
pass
there
it.
now. If it's the right one.
Go on, you go.
Harry Kane. Is it Harry Kane? Or is it
Are
Aguero?
you sure?
Aguero or Harry Kane, I'm
No,
thinking.
you're having 3 guesses there, mate.
Yeah,
You
no,
sure?
I'm Harry Kane. I'm going
Are you
Harry
sure?
Kane. Yeah, I'm sure, 100%.
You 100%.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, Spurs mug. Okay.
Yeah, Harry Kane.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
only
Harry
thing he's
Kane.
won, innit?
Ball knowledge, winner again.
George won.
Serene beat me, yeah, but
Serene's
Serene,
good.
he only beat me because he kept getting the claps quicker.
No,
He was
but
doing
Serene was
all
good.
the questions were easy questions,
That was
No, Serene
comprehensive.
but it was
way
just
better
he was
than you.
doing me on the claps. But
Yeah.
Got a good video
Oh.
of Serene back in the gym. It was what was it when you play that game where it's football clubs? You got to go A, B, C.
Oh
D,
yeah,
E.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
He's sharp on that.
Is
Yeah,
he?
he's
Yeah,
good.
he's
He's
clever.
sharp,
Isn't
yeah.
he?
You wouldn't think it, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
Nah.
He's clever.
I would call it here.
Yeah. Everyone, thanks
He's
for
gonna be
watching.
watching this.
This has been Dylan from FSCR. Check him out. It's honestly
FSCR.
top gym.
Just type up FSCR
And then
on
also,
Instagram.
the attire supplier, trainers, tracksuits, clothes, everything. Get on us, boys.
All right, sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later.
Cheers, boys.